To start off with, India is such a vast country where you have more than 2,000 games that are being conducted by BCCI, 2,000 matches, but that is across all age groups and both men and women cricket put together. So, uh, on a whole, with the number of matches that we conduct in a year is more than what all the cricket playing nations combined together they conduct for their respective state side, for their country sides. So this is the volume that we have in our country. So I know that we have more than 30 35 first class teams. um, so you on any given day you'll have about 16 17 first class matches, and we are only five selectors. So how do we prune a list, so that the process of pruning the list is, we have fixed up to we have decided to focus on 60 to 70 boys in India, that we prune that list based on their consistent performances in the last couple of years. So if they've been performing consistently for the last couple of years, we'll round them off, and we will. Like that, we have identified between 65 to 70 players across formats. So when we post the selectors, only those players, who are figuring in those matches, that's how we post them. So what happens to the players to other players who are performing also? So the thing is, once we finalize this list of 65, 70 and keep watching those matches, we'll follow them. If they are doing well in domestic cricket, and if they are doing well, then we will slowly progress them through the Dilip trophies, Deoday trophies, Irani trophies, and from there to India cricket. So this is the graduation process. This is the process that we followed in the path for them to reach to the highest levels. Once they get selected for India, we give them a chance for 2 to 3 tours, and if he does well, then we'll keep him. Then we will keep him as the standby guys for the national side. So this is the process that we have followed, and and by this process, once we have shortlisted to 60, it made our job easy. And what again, coming back to that point, what happens to those who are doing who come in the current season if they are doing well? So what we do is, those who have not done well to this season, current season, will be exited from that matrix, and those who have done well will come into that list. So we create a priority list, and whoever, so those who have done consistently well for 2 years will be given the first priority. That's how we have identified these probable players who will go on to represent the game. That path for them we have created. That made our job very easy. This is how the players transition happens from domestic to the next level, and from there to India, and India A to senior level. See, now if you see who are the best bowlers in IPL. So one is Jasprit Bumrah, or a Bolt, or a Rabada. So what are their specializations? One is that they can swing the ball in the power play, and similarly they can bowl very good in the death overs. So if you see, Bumrah does that consistently well, whereas Bolt was very good in the power play earlier. Now he's bowling extremely well in the death overs. So that's how one is improving, and with every passing year. So these people who are doing consistently well have become a benchmarks for others to achieve. So with every passing year, if you see, with every pass, you see the example of Mohammad Siraj. Till last year he was okay. Suddenly, after a good spell that he had last year, a 4-wicket haul which has given the confidence for him, and the selectors also had selected him across the formats. What that really did was, it really boosted his confidence. And this year, if you see, he is bowling well in power play, and he's also bowling well in death overs. Earlier when he was playing for RCB in Bangalore, he or Navdeep Saini, the next generation kids, were conceding so many runs. But these are the trends. In the sense when it comes to bowling, fast bowling. and the importance of Yorkers, the importance of change of pace, all those things are coming into picture in this IPL. Probably every team has come out with that kind of a plan. And the second point with regard to spinners, I personally feel that slowly, bowling a traditional spin art instead of traditional spin, bringing number of variations into your bowling. Say, if you see the example of Rahul Chahar. Rahul Chahar was having only he's got a lot of revolutions. He turns the ball, so he was just sticking to that. So suddenly, when a left-hander comes, he's struggling.
Yes.
So, but if you see this year, he has adapted to the wickets in Chennai, and he brought in those variations even for left-handers. He brought in that googly, he brought in that flipper. So he has learned from last year, and he has been what seems to be a weak link for Mumbai Indians suddenly became their strength now. He's become a wicket taker. So similarly, if you see Varun Chakravarti, or if you see any even to an extent of Ashwin, on the other day I saw somebody bowling with one single finger. So these are the variations that with every passing year these players are bringing into their game, and that is helping and giving good results. So that's the beauty about IPL. This year, once you come up with some plan, every opposition have your video recordings, and they watch and they come well prepared next year to attack you. Now the bowlers have become smart. They are changing their game plans by next year. They're adding few more astras to their armory, few more weapons to their armory and all.
They're being tricky.
Yeah, so it's about outfoxing each other, which I really see in this edition of IPL this year. The RCB, with the inclusion of Harshal Patel and Maxwell, looks a different side this season. So, and the moment Maxwell has been picked into RCB side, the job of Virat Kohli has become easy. So he's just going at the top of the order. Either he's getting runs or not getting runs, but he is not worried as long as these two guys are taking the responsibility. Otherwise, without unlike in previous years, he never the entire pressure was falling both on Virat and ABD only. If they don't perform, then the team falls like a pack of cards. But this year they look a different side. And in bowling department, Harshal Patel, especially both at the start power play and also at the death overs, is really proving to a big asset for their side. So and the fourth side is Delhi Capitals. Delhi Capitals, I always thought that right from 2018, I think ever since they picked Ricky Ponting as their coach, and team management, the selection policy was fantastic. They picked a wonderful Indian people in their squad. That every player who plays in the playing 11 for them is almost like an international cricketer, whether they play for India or South Africa or any other country. So with international experience, that, like, say, take the example of Rabada or Marcus Stoinis, or rest all are Indian. Shikhar Dhawan, Steve Smith now, Prithvi Shaw, R. Ashwin, Amit Mishra, you name anybody, they all played for the country. And with Avesh Khan doing well, they also look. So overall, I think when it comes to the balance of the side, these four teams looks much balanced: RCB, CSK, Mumbai Indians, and the Delhi Capitals. With regard to Punjab Kings, they always had. I think they have a fantastic unit. What is missing in them is the bowling department and batting. As far as batting is concerned, if you see the way Deepak Hooda or Shah Rukh Khan are performing, and they have wonderful depth. Unfortunately, Nicholas Pooran hasn't fired and he hasn't got much opportunity this season. But so far they had very tough times. But going forward, now it's only the first round of matches that happened. Still have 3-4 rounds before getting into the playoffs. So most interesting part is, as of now, these four looks more formidable, more balanced sides. But what happens in the next round of matches once they move from this center to the next center will decide the course of the action for those who are getting into playoffs.
Mm.
And with regard to KKR, they have a wonderful side. They played a brilliant game last night. But again, their issue is their Morgan not firing, and some of the decisions that they've taken, even the leadership qualities are also not up to the mark. Not really. It's not as proactive as the other captains who are taking instinctive decisions. You cannot be laid back in certain issues. So a simple example: last night they started with Varun Chakravarti. That guy picks a wicket and then suddenly he's been put off. So
Yes.
that kind of a blunders you cannot make. And utilizing of see, last night was the best opportunity to send either this fellow, what do you call, Sunil Narayan or Russell up the order.
Mm.
See, when you need to score 220 runs, so with all respects to all the three Indian cricketers who are playing well, Nitish Rana or Shubman Gill or Tripathi, but they should have taken the chance of sending up the order. Sunil Narayan is at his best when he bats up the order. They should have given him the free license to give that 30-40 runs quick start, which would have set the tone. And that didn't happen. And see, if you see, they were just following the same routine batting orders. So going forward, I think the captain has to be much more proactive. The decisions, on-field decisions that they take should be very quick. Very quick. So they have a wonderful side. I think balance-wise, they also have wonderful side, but the decision making is little found wanting. Rajasthan Royals again, they're definitely missing Ben Stokes. They're definitely missing Butler's form. There's so much of pressure on Sanju Samson. And David Muller, the moment he came in, he did well. Chris Morris is doing well, but as a combined unit, they have to gel together to make it to the playoffs. And Sunrisers Hyderabad, yes, of course, they got a good start, and they are themselves to blame. That the first three games they haven't chased well, and I think first two games their strength is defending whatever the totals that they put up on the board. But once they won the toss on Chennai, they messed it up by bowling first. Actually, they should have batted first and then put pressure on the opposition. So in fact, they fell into the other team's traps. Whichever team bats first there is eventually going to win, because the wicket deteriorates very badly as it keeps going. So these are the mistakes that Chennai has done. Chennai, Punjab Kings, Rajasthan Royals, and Kolkata Knight Riders. Now from here onwards, with every passing game, if they don't put up numbers on the board, then they'll be lagging far behind, and also their morale also will keep going down. I have a feeling that they thought that the Rishabh Pant is the only guy who's assured of playing in the 11 in all matches. That is point one. Point two, when somebody is in very good form, when somebody is coming back with a wonderful form in Test cricket and one day and T20s, and more importantly, next year is going to be a big auction also. So Rishabh Pant, being from Delhi, he eventually might be their icon player when they pick their side next year, because he's a big name when it comes to T20 formats and most importantly being a localite. So they would have considered all these factors while picking. You might say that there are better brains in the side, like Ajinkya Rahane leading the country in Test format whenever Virat is on a break, or Steve Smith, one of the most successful captains. There is no doubt that there are better, or Ashwin, but Ashwin, of course, will definitely play in the 11, but he's already tried and tested in Punjab Kings. Yes, he's definitely a very good brain to lead the side, but looking forward, there are plenty of other things that they would have taken into consideration, which I have already told. And Steve Smith or Ajinkya is not assured of their place in the playing 11. These are the reasons why they have gone ahead with Rishabh. And it's not that surprisingly, but he's improving. Some of I think couple of games he really led very well Of course, he still is a work in the progress when it comes to captaincy, because all through his life he has never led teams. He was always a front runner in terms of batting or wicket keeping, but he doesn't have much of the experience. But these are the reasons which might have gone in his way for making him the captain of the side. He's a work in progress. You see, if someone who can improve his, learn from the mistakes that he has done. See, last IPL he has put on a lot of weight. People have criticized him. He lost a place in his two favorite format, T20 and one day side. He was only picked for Test squad. First Test he has not played. Subsequently played 3 Test matches and he played like a champion in Australia. Because of his performances, we won the Test series. And coming back from there, here also they have preferred him ahead of Saha. Kept brilliantly. Most importantly, kept brilliantly and batted brilliantly in all 3 formats. So when someone is with that kind of a confidence levels, so maybe Delhi Capitals would have thought that all those positive, he could bring those positive energy into the side, and they have given him. And when you have someone like Ricky Ponting in the dressing room who can guide you, so why not? Why not have him as the captain? I think that I agree with what their team management has done. The process of identifying the new talent should always be going. That's the duty of the selectors. You don't need to be worrying about those who are selected, because they have come through a system, and if they have done well. See, if you see from 2018 to 2017, after the Champions Trophy till the World Cup, I think 65 to 70% of the wickets that were taken by the Indian bowlers are Chahal and Kuldeep. 60 to 70% of the wickets were taken by both of them. And they played major part in many of the victories that we had during that period. Okay, everybody will have their time frame. And if they are in bad form, they have to go back to domestic cricket. Unfortunately, there is not much of domestic cricket is happening. So they have to go back, and they still, with regard to Kuldeep, he's still young. He can still make a comeback. He's still a special talent who's got 5 wicket hauls across all 3 formats. So he has to go back. The process of identifying fresh talent and new talent should never stop. And that's the beauty about this Indian team. See, when 7 of the main your Indian Test cricketers are not there, we still went on to win the Test series. In England speaks the volumes about the bench strength that our selection committee has left.
Do you have anyone in particular, like any 2 spinners that you would?
No, there's Rahul Chahar who is really doing well in domestic cricket. I think Rahul Chahar is maturing very well. So is Ravi Bishnoi, which is really unfortunate that why he is not being played by Punjab Kings. He should have, at least in a wicket like Chennai, he would have been a big asset, which they've gone ahead with Fabian Allen yesterday. I thought that Ravi Bishnoi played a key part. Bishnoi and Ashwin together played a key part in their team's success last year. They should play him. I think Rahul Chahar is one guy who comes to my mind. And more importantly, the World Cup is happening at home. I think that we have that advantage of playing at home. And we have played 2 IPLs prior to this World Cup team. I think more or less the selectors would have figured out the team as of now. And yes, there will definitely be a pressure. When India plays anywhere in the world, there will definitely be a pressure to win the ICC trophy. So you cannot all the time say that, if you see the last 2019 World Cup, the team was number 1 till that semi-final. We were at the top of the table. One bad half an hour costed us the World Cup actually. Otherwise, it was there in our hands. So yeah, even T20 World Cup 2016 that we played, our team played very well, except that in that semi-final that we lost because of the due factor and all. See, but yeah, there will be a lot of pressure because you're playing in India, and more so because not many ICC trophies were won under Virat. Pressure will definitely be there. Yeah. It's not only on Virat; it will be there on the entire team to win it. I'm sure with these 2 IPLs that we had and with the kind of form that our players are performing, and the new emerging talents like Ishan Kishan or Surya Kumar Yadav or Mohammad Siraj, fantastic bowling. It's heartening to see. There's wonderful bunch of team that we have, or a Washington Sundar. I think we have a very good side to win the World Cup. Now it's onus is on how you put up the best possible team on the park and make them play. That's what I'm looking for. Potential wise, I'm very happy that Shikhar Dhawan, the form that he's exhibiting. So earlier people were slowly writing him off in T20 format, but last year he got back-to-back hundreds in IPL. This year, he is among the top run getters, and he's leading from the front. In a team where a youngster is leading the side, he's taking the onus, he's taking the responsibility on his shoulders and winning the games. It's not that he's just leaving like that. He's almost winning the games and giving you wonderful victories. So Shikhar form is heartening. Surya Kumar Yadav looks like a wonderful prospect. Ishan Kishan looks a wonderful prospect. And Washington Sundar has extremely done well. Someone like Natarajan is doing very well. Mohammad Siraj is doing very well. Sanju Samson also. There's no doubt. If Sanju Samson, I always believe that Sanju Samson always had that potential. If he gets a 500-600 run season, he looks a complete different. What's happening is he gets a wonderful 100, and he's not backing it up with scores in the next few matches. If he can do that, I'm really hoping that he should be doing that in this IPL. And if he does that, I think he is also one of the important prospects, because it's happening in India. And if that kid gets 500, 600, whoever, I think one among Ishan Kishan or Sanju Samson, one of them might find a place. I think as quickly as possible, if they can round, I'm sure after this T20, after this IPL, they should be rounding off the selectors, because we don't have much time left. After that, we have World Test Championship and followed by England series. And soon after, once they come back, they will have this World Cup waiting to play this World Cup. So I personally feel that they should, close on the team by the conclusion of this IPL and just focus on them. We will definitely start as favorites. Because we have the best possible team that we have in this thing. And it's how they take it, and how much pressure that they take it. Because fortunately, I doubt whether there will be any spectators looking at the way the pandemic is shaping up. I think today we have 314,000 COVID positive cases. I don't know where this is heading, and more importantly, as it I don't know, if at all they conduct this tournament, it will be very in similar lines of IPL only. Like without spectators, be players in bio-bubble atmosphere. But though it is still 5-6 months away, we don't know what exactly is the situation. I think without spectators, I think it's as good as we playing anywhere in any other part of the world. But the only plus point is end of the day we are playing in India. That we will always have
an advantage,
and we will always have the advantage. You will always know the conditions much better than the opposition. See, what is happening is today almost all the best players in the world are playing IPL. They know the conditions like what we know about our own conditions. At times they know much better also, because some of the players must be having a home venues where, so they know much about those pitches. So like that, and more importantly, when we play at these venues, I think when we play in India, all those venues, so being a host nation, you should definitely have your own advantageous venues where you are strong at, whichever the venues that you play. Definitely post your team's matches in those venues where you have a stronger grip on it. I don't think so. They are going football way. I don't think so a country like India with 30-35 first class teams that is possible. the Indian team's head coach has plenty of other things in mind.
Hmm.
In parallel, they can have a cricket operations director